All right, guys, welcome back to the Inklings
I had
podcast.
a really big yawn.
There we go. Awesome start. Well, my name is Brandon,
I'm Jonathan. We're sleepy.
and hopefully you're not falling asleep already at this point.
Well, then let's talk about a really cool story.
that
That-
often people probably talk to, before bed. But anyway, it's a children's book.
No, this is
Children's
the kind
story.
of story that you scream at your child
Ah!
to wake them up in the morning for school. Just
He's hungry.
this book will be your alarm clock. It will be your bedtime story.
You won't want to sleep afterward. Oh no!
All right. In all seriousness, children's books. Okay. Focused.
Laser focused.
That's right.
So I know we mentioned briefly that we were kind of going into this children's book thing,
Mhm.
and I was doing a little bit of prep work beforehand to kind of get an idea of some of the different stories we wanted to, and we could end up making another children's book depending on how this one goes after the fact, because I actually found it to be kind of easy to come up with a theme.
That is a
on the
dangerous
spot, which
game
is-
to play.
It's a very dangerous game. Like, I have a setting, everything like that. I kind of came up with it, and then shared that with Jonathan, and so we're kind of walking back and I guess talking back and forth on kind of some of the things that we're going to be going through. And although I will say I put in probably a bulk of the effort for this first part, we'll be working on actually writing the actual story next episode. So you'll actually get to see the actual writing process next episode. And since it's a children's book, I would assume it should be easier, quote unquote,
Dangerous game, Brandon.
we're playing the most dangerous game. Book reference, if you didn't know.
So yeah, you'll see. We'll kind of make it into a fun little experiment. So you'll see that with the next episode. But
And we kind of already have page ideas of what we want on certain pages. Some of the other things that need to be fleshed out are maybe like an underlying theme or narrative. Like, because there's a theme with it. It's kind of like, hey, meet your friends along the way. Kind of, it's a journey. You go from one point to another. It's kind of, you flow down the river because it's a river ecosystem, and more specifically a Michigan river ecosystem. Kind of was thinking along the lines, because I like science. Science is something that's huge for me, and something that I thought would be really cool is because I like these books when I was younger. I had like the dinosaur books, so you like have all the information and everything of the dinosaurs, the scientific names, all that kind of stuff. I thought that was cool as a kid. Maybe because I'm a dork and a nerd, but I like that. So I kind of have something similar and kind of highlighting some more of the unique animals of like Michigan. So, for example, like our main character is Ozzy the otter, like a river otter, which is cool because it's cute. That's great. That's a plus. And who doesn't like otters? So, yeah. So that's the character, and I was kind of thinking like, if it's going to be an otter, why not make it in Michigan, like where we're from? So cool, awesome, and kind of everything kind of flowed from that point because it's a river ecosystem, and then you kind of go with the different animals because we wanted it. My sister wanted to kind of create animals because she's comfortable doing it, and she's going to be the illustrator of what we're working on. So I'm like, okay, what's something you're comfortable working with? Animals. Okay, cool. What animal? I don't know. Well, that's helpful. And I was just trying to get some ideas, just to get an idea of where we could maybe go that she's comfortable doing. And it kind of turned into me kind of storyboarding a little bit, kind of coming up with things a little bit faster than I wanted to. I kind of wanted Jonathan to be kind of on the boat on the boat. Haha. With everything.
Instead of hanging on by the by a rope.
Hey, you got an inner tube, right? We'll drag you along.
Yeah, I'm on the inner tube. So yeah, this will be
So I'm just gonna kind of go through some of the page ideas, at least that were
and I'm gonna
formed.
sit here and diligently listen.
Wow. So we have a couple of names, and a lot of them share, articulation or not articulation.
They're alliterative.
Alliterative. They're alliterative. Man, I can't speak.
Alliterative.
Alliterative. Say that 3 times fast. And
I'm trying.
I tried keeping them kind of similar syllables. So, for example, Ozzy the Otter.
Just so they roll off.
Yeah, so they roll off the tongue a little bit easier. Or I made a funny pun with their name that kids wouldn't necessarily get, but I would hope the parents kind of would, because I thought they were kind of clever. So we have Titus the Turtle. We have Gilbert the Gar. It's a fish with gills. Ha ha ha. It's lame. Yes, I know, but we also wanted it to be kind of some unique names. So not necessarily some names you would necessarily hear on a regular basis. And then we got and then I say that, and then I have Lucy the Loon. Kind of a common name, I guess, but we have Bailey and Callie, the red-winged blackbirds. And Callie's called that because their call is "Oh Callie," so I wanted Bailey to call for Callie for one of the pages, and I thought, that's genius. Is it stupid? Absolutely, but I want it. So therefore, we have 2 birds. Anyway, those are the names. Tell us if you like them down below. Or if you have a better suggestion for a name. We'd love to hear it. They're not set in stone.
Oh, Sullivan the Otter. No.
You don't want Oswald? No?
Orwell? Orwell!
Is that you, O'Brien?
He's got a slightly Scottish accent.
Oi, Oliver!
It's me, O'Brien, the otter.
Got some fish and chips?
I think we stick with Ozzy.
Yeah. Now he's an Aussie. We have some clams on the bobby.
Oh man.
Okay, we're getting off track. Anyway, we can have fun with things. Having fun is good, but we'll get a little bit more serious when we get into the actual writing part. But it doesn't mean we can't have fun with it. Like some of the illustrations I told my sister, like, there's a couple of things I'm like, hey, include this. Why? Because it's fun. Like, it's a little bit on the whimsical side. Like, it doesn't have to be quote unquote realistic.
Mm-hmm.
It can have little flares of different things. So I'm like, have a frog fishing, like a bullfrog just fishing for fish. He caught the fish. Oh, he jumps on the fish, and now he's riding the fish. Like different things like that in the background of the illustrations. I think that'd be funny. It'd be fun.
It's magical.
It's magically delicious. No kidding.
O'Brien, is that you?
Brian, Sam's up for me. Frog legs. Yes.
Ooh, it tastes like chicken. Unless you get bad frog legs, then they don't taste
Unless
like
it's
chicken.
fish. No.
Unless it's fish, then it will taste like fish. Frog legs are perch. I can't tell the difference.
No, it's like, it tastes like chicken. Except the chicken tastes like fish.
I mean, chicken's the poultry, or the fish of the
That-
poultry.
It's a duck. Anyways, so I kind of go through some of the pages that we kind of have as a storyboard currently, and then we'll kind of walk through next week as we kind of go through it. So I think I have like 11 pages currently. So first page, introduce Ozzy, your main character. Wow, this is Ozzy the Otter. He's an otter. Whoa. We'll figure out what we actually want to write, and kind of going through the theme, and we'll probably spend a little bit of time kind of going back and forth at what themes we want for this, because right now it's kind of, let's go down the river, meet some friends along the way, and have fun. Which is great and all for like a children's book, but I'd almost like there to be almost an underlying story or theme or narrative to kind of give like a lesson.
Always wear your seatbelts when you're on the what's it called?
The keep all arms and legs in the attraction at all times. Don't try to grab that bird and go. Otherwise, you'll hit a fallen tree as you're going down the river. Anyway, so yeah, first one, introduce Ozzy. Second one, Ozzy likes to swim. He likes being in the water. They're pretty elementary and rudimentary, but start pretty simple, and then you can kind of build from that point on. Or at least that was my idea coming with these. And then that's when the other characters start to get introduced. And I try to at least give 2 pages per character. So the first one that Ozzy the Otter meets is Titus the Turtle. Specifically, Titus the Turtle and his family of the Turtle Stack. Where, turtles like to sunbathe on logs and rocks and different things like that. And sometimes you see them stacked on top of each other. So this is going to be Titus and his family of the Turtle Stack. Just because. That's cool. And so basically, Titus, he loves to see the world at a higher vantage point because he's the top of the turtle stack. He's like, I love seeing things from this high up. It's great. It's grand. It's grandiose.
It'd be kind of funny. I'm just thinking like illustration wise, again, going with that whimsical vibe. On a ship, how they have the bird's nest?
Yeah.
The top of the turtle bird's nest. Just with a little sailor.
I see with my little eye nothing.
Just give him a little sailor.
No, and kind of going with the I see with my little eye kind of thing. The second page is they like to look at the Titus likes looking at the sky. It's like, oh, I wish I had wings.
Mm-hmm.
So he looks at the sky and then kind of like how you guess the silhouette of the cloud. Mm-hmm. And what does it make you? What does it look like to you?
A cloud.
Wow, that cloud looks like a cloud.
I think I nailed it.
So basically, Ozzy the Otter and Titus will be looking up into the sky, kind of looking into the trees, and then into the clouds that are in the sky. And so there's going to be different formed things from the clouds, like turtles and trees, strawberries, and different random things like that. And I thought that would be
kind of fun.
Yeah, kind of fun. Also a way for my sister to kind of get creative into how you illustrate all that stuff. Like I said, I'm the writer. I'm not the artist. But I think it would be really interesting to kind of, again, go through, not necessarily from a writing perspective, although it would be interesting to kind of see how we navigate through that. But, yeah. And then after, basically, Ozzy moves on, goes down the river. And something that will be in, like, the narrative is you'll see little bits and pieces of the next characters as you're turning the page. So, like, at the tail end of, like, the end of the page, like, for this example, the Gar is next. So you'll see the Gar in the picture before. So then when you turn the page, hey, look, it's the Gar. So different little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So next is Gilbert the Gar, who loves blowing bubbles. He loves making water rings. Kind of like I've pictured like the orca bubble rings that they do to like hunt and get like the fish and different things like that. Obviously, Gars aren't orcas. They don't do the same thing. I did learn actually doing research that alligator Gars actually do blow bubbles, potentially for communication or for other things like that. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and it's a Gar. Although scientifically, the long-nosed Gar that I have in here, yeah, it doesn't do that. But hey, this is a children's book.
Doesn't matter.
But I think it's fun, especially with the next page of basically Gilbert makes a little basically an outline for a race that he goes through, and he swims through the water rings because he likes swimming, and then high-fiving or fin slapping Gilbert for a great time. He's like, finish, yeah, new record. New record of what? I don't know, but new record. Personal best. You already ran once. Personal best. And then from that point, Ozzy starts to get hungry. So, and then he kind of comes across Lucy the loon. And they find their food. So Ozzy gets clams that'll be down below. Clams in the water. And then Lucy gets some straggling little fish. And basically hears bird calls as they get their food, have a chat. And then that's when Bailey and Callie come in. Well, Bailey comes in first because, I want the stupid little...
the pun.
Literally have a whole page dedicated to a pun. So enters an area with a lot of cattails. So Ozzy meets Bailey, who calls for Callie to listen to meet Ozzy and listen to the sounds of the ecosystem. So this is when we will get into, again, more of the science-y flair of it, where hey, let's listen to the sounds of the ecosystem. So, like, putting, like, like, how you would sound out the different... So, onomatopoeia, kind of.
Yeah.
Some of the calls that you would hear, like, in a river ecosystem. So, different things like a bullfrog, for example, or crickets. Different things like that. Mallard duck is another one I have on there. I wonder what that is. Oh, it couldn't be a moose, could it? You just picture the moose go quack. But yeah, so then Bailey and Callie join Ozzy as they get some sounds. So the ones that I have in there currently is the duck, the bullfrog, crickets, some of those would remind you of like fall, summer, different river ecosystem sounds. And then at that point, the sky's getting closer to evening, sunset, and at the end of the story, it's I pictured it based on like Tequamanon Falls in like the UP Upper Peninsula. So there's going to be a waterfall. There's going to be northern lights in the sky, and basically what he floats back on his back. Looks at that, like, wow, what a great day. And then that's when all the other characters are also there, because the turtle stack will be floating on a log. The log will make it to the end, and then everybody else will be there. And yay, you're with your friends at the end. Yay! And then the back of the book is going to be kind of what I experienced with the dinosaur thing, with the scientific names. So I'll have the scientific names and actual names of the animals that were mentioned.
Kind of giving it a learning...
Yeah. Giving a learning experience as well. So they'll have actual pictures and then their scientific names. different things like that. So here's actually what it looks like,
Mm-hmm.
and then here's, their scientific name. Hey, this is what it is. So just to give a little bit of background, and yeah, that's that currently. And then obviously I think we'll want to add a lesson in there somewhere. What that is, not sure right now, but that's what it is, and I guess we'll start trying to come up with a lesson.
The moral of the story is, yeah. So again, just to reiterate, next episode we're going to be writing the actual book. You'll probably see the whiteboards broken out again because we think they're fun. We'll probably make some sort of game out of it. I don't know. We'll make it fun. It'll be fun to watch. We promise. It won't just be us sitting at a desk just. Yes, breakthrough.
Oops. I did it again. No, kidding.
So we hope you're looking forward to that.
Yeah, we could probably start actually working on what the lesson could be now, in preparation for next week. So, because I know we got a little bit more time. I know I wanted to give like a brief synopsis of what kind of was created already. But yeah, lesson. What's a good lesson that we could do? And I've been kind of stewing my brain on it as well. Not 100% sure.
Now the challenge is it's. I feel like especially with this, with how it's plotted out, is you. And this is completely antithetical to let's plan the lesson now. But it feels like you almost have to just write it and then see what actually happens. My mind immediately goes towards with how he's interacting with all these different characters is something community-wise.
Yeah.
Especially, it's a river ecosystem. There's all these different characters.
Everything works together.
And I almost wonder if you build in some sort of, Ozzy's helping these other characters, or they're helping Ozzy, in all these interactions.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, you almost have to write it because the outline that's there, it's a very basic outline. But my mind, something with community, is where my mind jumps immediately, just with how it's set up.
Yeah.
Or you could do what I joked about earlier and just wear your seatbelt, whatever that means in terms of floating down a river. But
Ozzy puts on his wear your life vest.
Your life vest.
And that's what rip currents are, guys. It's like, wait, why is there rip currents in a river?
We make it
Don't
dark.
ask questions. Don't ask questions. But what? Don't ask questions.
But what did I just say? You're asking a question.
Yeah, I do think like the community aspect would be something that would be really nice to go for. And I'm like already thinking of things like, say the turtles are in the shade and they don't want to be in the shade because they're sunbathing, and they get energy by, being in the sun and get more of that energy. So it's like, how about, say if it's like a branch or whatever, like Ozzy lowers the branch. Hey, how are you guys doing? My name's Titus. I'm tiny.
Finding ways to like
just interact
with these characters.
And then that's where some of the other things can happen as well. So that the only thing is like, what do you do for a Gar? Just because I use some interesting characters.
Blow bubbles. He likes to blow bubbles. There's something with racing.
But Gar's normally like going slow. So
Ozzy is. You mentioned that with Ozzy.
Yeah.
But he's gonna.
Maybe it's a Gar that wants to go fast but can't.
And Ozzy takes him to the bubbles.
Yeah.
Kind of fun though. It'd be something like that.
Hold on to your buddy, like the Finding Nemo, the crash and all.
See that would actually be pretty fun. I like that.
Yeah, noggin.
I think that's a good way to.
Because normally Gars go slow. They're
Right.
they like slow moving streams.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of stay put. But I'm like, this guy, he's just raring to go. So maybe that's what we do actually.
Is he is speed, Lightning McQueen style.
Damn, speed.
Well, and you could even
This fast.
well, my mind just jumps towards like again, I don't know what the illustrations are going to be looking like, but you mentioned the whimsical signs. My mind jumps towards like, oh, you could have him like, how race cars have like number 1 painted on the side, like he's got that, like
no, actually, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
He wants to be fast.
Yeah, it's this is the long nose car. They have some vertical spots that, or no, horizontal spots. No, this guy's got vertical spots in one spot.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
one.
yeah, just kind of that. It's a kid's book, so you expect it to be almost
a little bit
more,
whimsical,
a little goofy. And I think it'd be kind of fun, especially. Oh, he's a slow moving fish, but he doesn't want to be.
He doesn't want to be. He just wants to. Just like the turtle wants to fly.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, that's good there. What else do we have? We have the loon.
The loon, who's hungry.
Who's hungry? Obviously, I think there's an easy, maybe he.
I'll catch the fish and.
Now my mind goes towards, and I hear loon. I think, oh, kind of loony, like goofy,
Well, I think like Looney Tunes.
Yeah. So she's
singing a song.
Yeah.
Like
So
taking
like that.
taking like a rip on the Looney Tunes, but doing it as in Looney Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Because the call of the loon is eerie, but it's awesome.
But yeah, I mean that interaction easily lends itself towards that community with the they're hungry, sort of. Oh, we're gonna help each other find food or whatever.
Yeah.
The birds. Bailey and Callie.
Where's Callie? Where are you?
You could do something like that, like use the bird call to help them find the other one. I don't know.
Hey, Callie. Where are you? Oh, don't worry. I have my earbuds in. I was actually.
What would be kind of funny too?
I would taking a siesta.
I would assume Bailey and Callie are related to some extent, like sisters or.
Yeah, they're red-winged blackbirds. Bailey could be either guy or girl.
So kind of.
Callie's female.
The idea that jumps into my head is one's coming to visit the other from far away and can't find them, so you have to use the bird calls. As he.
It's like, oh, Callie, here I am with makeup and everything.
Whole suitcase.
It's a red-winged blackbird. But why are you pink? I put too much. Too much.
I don't judge your plumage.
Jeez, Becky. No, wait, that's my sister. Becky the bird.
So that's the idea that jumps to my mind.
But then kind of going into the sounds.
Exactly. Yeah, using the sounds to still use that pun, but building in that community.
Yeah, the aspect.
Moral.
And then at the end, basically it's everybody's gathered together to look at the Northern Lights by the waterfall. Awesome. Cool.
And you get your nice little resolution. Oh, he's made all these friends.
Yeah.
They've got this community. They're all buddies. And it's a cute little story.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. I think that's good.
And then obviously you'll see more in depth next time.
Yeah. And then we'll get into actually writing some of it, which I think will be interesting to go through, because I haven't started the writing process because I didn't want to, because I wanted to include Jonathan in it, because we'll be co-authoring it. And we'll probably show you guys snapshots of some of the pictures that are coming up as my sister's drawing them.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of, this was one of the start of the drawings. So I'm pulling it up on my phone, actually. To give you a little idea of a picture, now these were pretty quick, so they're just kind of momentary, but I'll give you a little bit of a view.
Yeah, you say they were quick, but that's better than anything I could draw, so you know.
Just to get an idea of some of the things that you
You can expect to see.
Yeah, you can expect to see. It'll probably be a little bit more cartoony with some of the things that I suggested to her. But that's kind of a bare bones storyboard of like a children's book. I don't know necessarily what other people do to write children's books, but I think it's a good idea to kind of storyboard it out before you kind of dive into it. And like you said, Jonathan, we can like go through it, write it, and then kind of look back at it and see if we wanted to inject some like lesson or different things like that. Because editing is still a thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And editing's huge for any story. And the same applies for children's books as well.
Yeah.
So, and then once we're happy with it, we'll kind of keep going down that road. Basically give concrete saying, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what it is, this is what it looks like for my sister to go and then illustrate. And then we'll figure out where we go from there. Whether that's, doing an interview with people to like, hey, how do we publish this? How do we walk through some of these hurdles that we don't know if, like, how do we do this? And to be honest, we don't really know either. So we'll be kind of going and tackling through those things. And hopefully we can record it for you guys to also see and walk with us in it. And then hopefully we'll have a link or something to link it down to the book once it comes out. Which I think will be awesome.
It'll be really awesome.
So, anyway, that's the children's book. We'll get into it more next week. And then I am working on getting something for writing songs.
Which is going to be really fun because I can't speak for Brandon, but besides like songs that I've written for my own story, which again, that's just me, basically writing poems.
Yep. And mine's much the same way.
So it's not like I'm actually sitting there and I'm like, I'm going to write sheet music for this or, like actually put instrumentation towards it. This is new ground for me, which will be fun.
And we're going to get, like, I think the worship leader for our church here. Because he's actually had experience with it as opposed to, well, we're two newbies. And writing sheet music is a little bit different than writing lyrics, which, I mean, you can all put them together, but it's something we'll be working on. And then I hope we're just not trying to bite too much off that we're going to chew, but I know we'll get back into the short story eventually as well. I know we've just been a little bit on the busy side of late, so it's kind of been put on the back burner as of right now. But we will get to it. I know we keep saying this every week, but we will. We're
adults. We're trying to.
The thing is, we're doing the children's book because I feel like the writing portion of it will be really quick. It's the illustrating that takes time.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get that updated as soon. And I'm like, hey, and if this goes well, if you want us to do another children's book, leave that in the comments down below. And even if you wanted to give a theme or a setting or something like that and that we can go off of, that'd be awesome. Anyway, I think that'll do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you next week.
See ya.
See ya.